Hi, so welcome to the another class of Internet of Things. So in this class we will study about the IoT, the Internet of Things requirements and the technology challenges. So as we know that your Internet of Things can be seen as combination of your IT and your OT, that is your information technology and the operational technology, resulting into a paradigm shift here. So that means the deployment of your IoT requires completely new model. So if we have to deploy a new model for a certain new technology, so it will come with certain requirements and the technology challenges. So if you have a look at the IoT model, what it requires, so it just basically starts from your sensors and devices, moving to gateways connecting it to your internet backbone. Then you have certain infrastructure platform and your application services. So for this model, for your Internet of Things like sensors, devices, that is like your mobile devices, gateways, and your internet. Then you require cloud. You require here certain analytics for your information. So when you have to create such scenario for your Internet of Things, there are certain requirements for your technology deployment. So now we will study about the various IoT requirements here. So first of all, we have here infrastructure simplification. Now we know that the existing internet is basically, or it is the existing internet structure is here to support or to get or to provide connectivity to your PC, laptop, servers, and now your mobile phones, that is your smartphones. But now we will have here, or we have here, the concept of IoT, or what will be for IoT. Now in IoT, we know that each and every device will be connected to the internet. So that means we will have a number of devices here, and the devices here will be a different types. That means type of devices will also vary here. So there will be a variation in the traffic protocols also. Moreover, your Internet of Things, the requirements are that they require low throughput, low bandwidth, and believes in energy efficiency here. So that means the infrastructure which is required here in order to get connected to the internet, that should not be more complex, but that should be redesigned here in order to reduce the cost and the complexity, keeping in mind these factors for your internet of things, like a huge number of devices, like we can say that the sensor devices which are connected to the internet, the different traffic protocols according to that, and the data capabilities and the bandwidth requirement here. So first and foremost important requirement for your internet of things here comes to the simplification of your infrastructure. That means it should be not a complex system. After your infrastructure simplification, the next is required. Now we require a number of functions here, new functions for your IoT. So that means you need to build software based PD functions here. Now, that means with IoT, you will have new and enhanced apps. That means the richer apps, they will have different capabilities. So that means you have to here optimize the infrastructure. And basically, what we want to create here is an app centered infrastructure. So basically, we require to build such kind of functions here, which are mainly your app centered or supports that kind of infrastructure here. So that means from requirements are here from your hardware side, that is the deployment of such kind of structure, and then to your software scenarios also. After that, you require security. Now, a billion of devices will be connected to the internet here. So that means a tons of data will be exchanged here. The real-time data will be exchanged here. So security is a must because we will be having like your e-commerce related activities. That means the e-commerce related data will be exchanged, like your passwords, your bank accounts related information, then your healthcare information. So that is in private information for a particular subscriber here. So what we need is for your IoT security, that means it should be able to automatically detect the threat, and there should be an remedy for that threat. So such kind of security here is required for your IoT environment. After security, the system should be easy to adopt. That means adaptability of the system here is a crucial issue because we need that the various devices and various kind of atmosphere should be able to exchange information with one another. That means they should be able to blend that information here. So interoperability here is a main issue for your Internet of Things. Now, for example, we have like the Cisco's IoT gateway has adopted, or it has a complete IPv6 protocol stack which provides complete interoperability, or we can say that it provides a platform such that various number of equipments from different vendors are able to exchange that information. So that means this gateway here, which is deploying your IPv6 protocol stack, the various equipments here are able to exchange information with one another. So that means adaptability and interoperability is a must requirement for your Internet of Things here. After that, another issue is your caching and storage. Now, small sensor type devices will be have smaller memory here, but storage must be used because it's not only some of the devices are exchanging the information, large number of devices are exchanging the information. So for that we have cloud services, which serves as an infrastructure platform for your Internet of Things to store a large amount of data. So we have big uh, data centers here which are storing this information or the various data from number of subscribers here. So after caching and storage, moving towards the another requirements for your Internet of Things, we have your storing and routing. Now there are different technologies which we are using here for Internet of Things. Here is Zigbee, providing as a wireless communication standard here, so that work topologies of the data in a convenient way and reliable information. Complete means communication. That means some of the nodes will be used for storing that where to forward the information, and some of the nodes will act as routers there. So we require ad hoc networking for your health, smart care systems, and for your transportation. Or for example, if you have smart campuses are here, so they are basically using here inter-domain routing protocols, which are able to forward the data within that smart campus here. So what kind of networking topology you are using here for routing, that's also an important requirement that should be defined here. Now after storing and routing, the next thing is your contextual communication. Now we will have different kind of application scenarios for the Internet of Things, and there will be different kind of context here. So those contexts here should be able to exchange information with one another. So this is basically here, or this is referred as an intelligent communication system, which is basically used for self configuration. That means the systems or the various nodes and devices here should be able to self configure themselves. Now here if you take an example of your smart home, so it will have different kind of context which will depend upon, like for the temperature, the number of occupants in the homes, the location, and etc. So these are the different kind of context which needs to self configure with their self, and then they should be able to send the information to the another nodes. That means it should be an intelligent system here, or a self configurable systems. After contextual communication, the system here should be energy efficient. So this depends here on the previous requirements of IoT. If they are met, so energy efficiency is also required here, because we require that the devices which we're using here, they should have like battery consumption should be low, and the manpower, because IoT here, or the devices which are being used in your Internet of Things, that are supposed to work without the human intervention. So this is an requirement for your Internet of Things. After that, traffic management for your Internet of Things. So basically, if you talk about here the management of traffic, so that means it should be able to separate the local and the wide area traffics. And above that, whatever context is being exchanged here, that should be a reliable communication. So that basically falls under your security requirement of your Internet of Things. So these are the certain requirements of your Internet of Things which should be met, starting from your infrastructure simplifications to your app centered softwares, and then the security, the intelligent communications, the routing protocols, and like energy efficiency and traffic management. Now, after the IoT requirements, the next thing we have is the technology challenges. The next thing, IoT challenges. So, beginning with that, first of all, we have this is your IoT. The next topic which you're studying here is the IoT challenges, the IoT technology challenges. Device management. Device management is a high grade technology challenge for Internet of Things because we know that there will be numerous sensor devices, gateways, and these devices are supposed to be fully automated. So this is the checkpoint here for device management, that all of these devices are fully automated, running without any human intervention. So that means each of device is automated here, connected to a particular, we can say that, to a connect gateway. So that's a huge challenge here for the technology enablers, that they have to uh, keep this thing shows that all of the devices are working in one proper scenario here. That means fully automation system for your Internet of Things. So that means managing here a billions of devices is a challenge, technological challenge for your Internet of Things. Now, after device management, you have the next challenge as device diversity. So, device diversity can have a question mark on the interoperability of these devices, because we will have a different number of devices. That first of all, there will be a variation in the type of devices. Then there will be a differentiation in the from the vendors, because there will be a different number of equipments coming from different number of vendors. So that will lead a question mark that whether these devices are interoperable with each other or not. Because what we require is that Internet of everything. So that means each of the devices should be able to transfer the information to another environment there. So that means we need a global system here, and despite of these diversity of the various kind of devices, they should work together. Now, for example, if you take an example here of a power network in a city, so that means it's a censored system. So this network, this power network for a particular city should be monitored here in real time. Now, what it will be implying, it will be using here different number of sensors for different kind of processes, like different sensors for your generation, then different sensors from your transmissions. Now, for different process, different sensor devices, and from different equipment. So what it requires here is that despite of these differences, these here should be able to transfer that information. So making an environment that is fully automated despite of the diversity, that means you're here trying to provide interoperability among different devices from different vendors here. Third challenge here is the integration of data from multiple sources. Now you here will be getting the data from a number of sources, from sensor devices, from your social networking feeds, from your gateways, from your mobile devices. So that's a huge task here, that the data here should be integrated properly so that proper streaming or proper information after that can be conveyed to particular subscriber here. Now, after the integration of data, the next things which come here as a challenge for your IoT is the flexibility and evolution of new applications. Now, what we will witness here, as these number of sensors will be working here, so they will be enriched with new capabilities. That means now when they're enhancing, we will also have to work towards making new platforms for that, or we can say that the new analytics for such kind of new applications here. So there will be flexibility among these softwares, and these sensors and these apps will be enhancing. So we need improved analytics systems and infrastructure services here for the deployment of these enhanced versions of these apps and wearable sensors or other devices in your IoT systems. Now, another challenge which remains here for IoT is the data privacy. Now, data must be protected here from the unauthorized access, because every kind of information is being uh, transmitted here, like starting from your banks, from your e-commerce, or your health-related system here. So this remains a key challenge. That means the data for a particular customer should be streamed to him, and moreover it should not be accessible to another users, or simply we can put it in a way that it should not be, or it should prevent the unauthorized access for that kind of secured data here. So security remains an important requirement as well as a challenge for your IoT systems. So in this session of Internet of Things, we have just covered about the requirements for Internet of Things deployment and the various technology challenges here. So this is all here for today's sessions. We will be studying more about Internet of Things in our next classes. Thank you so much.